Good morning, guys. So it is a beautiful day here in sunny, beautiful Pennsylvania right now. It is exactly 23 degrees and I am freezing cold. Yes, I have a t-shirt on because I just opened the garage door because I got to turn the car on. So I'm going over to show my dad the Supra. He has not seen it finished yet. He always gets a little tickled by seeing the car because he thinks it's neat that I can do this much stuff. And even once again, I'm not gloating. He just thinks it's neat that I can even swap a motor or do stuff. So when I told him putting cans and doing all that stuff, for him, he just thinks it's neat. So I'm gonna go over and show him the car and see if him all happy about seeing it finished. And then we're going to pick up the R154 here. I'm gonna use my wife's RAV4. My buddy Colt was gonna go with me here, but we have to go do a couple other things. So I'm gonna run over there real quick, pick up the transmission for Chris. Maybe I'll have him do a rundown of what everything that's done to it as he built it. He's the one that works at Freed Engineering and built the transmission. So gonna do that here quick this morning, and then hopefully maybe start taking out the transmission, take out the W58 and start loading everything in, put the flywheel on, all that good stuff, etc. So let's go ahead and get that done. Another thing, guys, since I'm going to pick up the rear diff and transmission here, I picked these little carts up from Harbor Freight. I think that little cart was $6. That's why I usually put a diff on, because as heavy as they are, that thing can actually hold something like 180 pounds. So holds it, does just fine, and lets you roll around the garage. Hi, babe. Look at her walk away. And then transmission, I put on this. I think this was $15 and makes it nice and easy also. So if you guys want help, go to Harbor Freight, pick this stuff up. Makes it easy if you have extra parts laying around. You can just roll them around instead of trying to lift up a heavy part every time. And then I have my transmission lift, which I use to take in and out the old transmission. So going to pick it up now. We're actually going to see my dad first, then going to pick up the trans. So hold on. All right. So I got the transmission now back here at the house with the diff. He gave me a bunch of other parts, so I'm gonna pull everything out, put it on the cart over there. And yeah, and I'll show everything to you guys and kind of break it down real quick. And yeah, so let's yank all this out real fast. All right, guys, so went ahead and stopped by Chris's house and picked up everything. One issue was we kind of talked about everything, recorded him talking about everything, and at the end of it he goes, I don't mind you recording me, and he's super nice guy, but he's like, please, please, please don't put me on YouTube. He's like, I just don't want to be out there. He said, I'll help you with anything you need, record this as much as you want, use it for your own personal records, but he didn't want his face on YouTube, so unfortunately I won't be able to use any of that, so I'm going to try and spit out what he told me about everything for the most part. What you see is what I bought from him. I bought all of these parts just from him, so I'm going to start first with the rear end and then kind of go over everything else that came with the transmission here. I got a bunch of stuff for the price I paid. I can't believe all the stuff I got. So let's start off with the rear end here. So this is an automatic Supra LSD rear end, 200 millimeter gear ring. Just a regular auto TT diff. It's dirty and rusty as they usually are. There's nothing wrong with it and it'll work. One thing I'm going to do is I'm putting in solid bushings here. I'm going to get rid of these stock ones here. I'm either going to burn them out or press them out somehow. The Powerhouse Racing makes a little cup that you can put over top of this and press these out. I think it's like $100. It's a little pricey, but it works well and you can't really beat it for the design it has. So this is just your standard LSD. It has a stock LSD. They checked all the specs and then resealed it before they gave it back to me. So they also gave me the stock dampener or bushing, which I'm going to be replacing. So yeah, that's the LSD that I got with it. Next up, we'll do the random parts. So this extension here, guys, which I'll be selling, this actually fits a 240SX or a IS300. That comes with the seal, the extension, the shifter, and all the bolts and everything you need to actually install it on the car. Since the transmission I have now, I use the rear housing off a JZX car. I have now a standard, or not a standard, but I guess we'll call it a tripod style shifter. So I no longer need any of this. So I'll be selling all this if anyone is interested. It has the upgraded Marlin crawler bushings and stuff on it. So this will shift just fine. Everything you would ever need is right here. So if anyone's interested, please let me know. I'd like to get, I guess $150 for all this that you see. From here back, that's $150. Seal, everything, you can have it all. I think the seal alone is like $35 and it's brand new. You got all the bolts, the shifter, extension, everything. So yeah, just let me know, guys, and for you, $150. Next up, I got a brand new mount. I didn't know I was getting this. He's like, oh yeah, brand new, and it bolts right up to my W58 aluminum mount that's already in the car. So I have to add no blocks, no nothing. So this will make it really nice and stiff. It's kind of nice I didn't have to buy a new one, so I'm super stoked about this. He also threw in, for the diff there, where you can see the rubber donut, I'm going to be replacing it with this billet and then adding a drive shaft shop, aluminum drive shaft to the car. So he threw that in also. I can't beat it. I can't believe all the stuff he kept throwing in, but that's going to be going with it. I bought the forks there, or the forks came with it. It has the pivot fork or the pivot mount already inside the trans. I'll get to that. All the bolts and stuff to help it bolt up then. I actually have extra trans bolts here too then, so I can use those if I want. If not, I can just use the ones he gave me here too. He gave me a brand new slave cylinder, and it's a little greasy, but I don't understand what the little blue fitting is inside. That's obviously not OEM Toyota. Maybe if any of you guys out there can explain it to me, or I'll actually message them and be like, what's the point of that, or if it's plugging it somehow right now. Not all too sure, so I'm gonna have to ask him about that because that does not look OEM. Lastly here, before we get onto the transmission itself, we have this rear housing. Now, this rear housing, if you can see the trans too, he actually had this all together originally, and had like that IS300 shifter over there on it. And he sonic cleaned it, or he bead blasted it first, and then sonic cleaned everything. That's why it looks so shiny and new. And the rear housing and the front JZ bell housing does not. So this would all look shiny new, but I didn't want that. I wanted the tripod style. So this will be selling too. It's already been extended to work with all that. So I can honestly throw this all in as one package deal and just sell it off all as one. Like I said, it's pretty much like new right now. If you can see inside too, it's literally comes with everything, and it is nice and shiny. So I'll be selling this too, but no longer needed. All right, guys, and lastly, the R154 itself. So all the plugs are in it, the speed sensor's there. He must have redid the wiring here. I can see he actually nicely braided it or put a nice little sleeve over it so that looks a little bit prettier. But yeah, this one be nice and plug and play. You can see he painted all this, so that's nice and clean. This is actually not painted, that's actually just the bare aluminum. It's just that fucking clean right now. Two things he did do, or one thing he did do, this is actually a stock pressure relief valve, and then he went ahead and tapped in and put another one. Apparently they build up enough pressure, and you know, there's no way to really ventilate them. If you actually have a stock MK3, you don't have either one of these. So he put this in for his sake when he had the MK3 style shifter on it from a Supra. And then when he installed this, he didn't realize it had another one. So it's twice the chance for it to relieve pressure. No oil or fluid will come up through it, but it relieves any crankcase pressure, but any transmission pressure, so I don't have to worry about it this way. Like I said, this is a tripod style JZ shifter, so everything seems to shift buttery smooth. Like, I mean, I'm very happy. It's kind of hard. It's sitting on this, so it's moving with it. But one thing I never realized is the MK3 transmission does not have a synchronized reverse. So he just kept pushing it into me, saying, do not, I repeat, do not try to put this car in reverse while moving. So just make sure you stopped. And if you have to, my W58 did this a lot. You had to put it in first and then come down to reverse just to get out of the gear and get the drive shaft or whatever lined up. I forget what it is, but I always put my car in first, then go down to reverse, so it's no big deal. So I'll try it here real quick, actually. So just put it up in like third, come over. It's gonna be hard. It's too hard right now with it sitting on that, and I don't feel like taking it off, to be honest. So, yep, tripod shifters on it there. I didn't realize the whole reverse thing had no synchro, no big deal, but everything inside has been replaced. Coming up front here, like I said, he has the pivot point there for the clutch fork itself. Everything in here is new, nice and black, resealed up. One thing I didn't notice, I'm gonna have to buy the R154 covers here. I do not have those. I just thought about that. I'm not sure if I can buy them new still. I'll have to look that up, or maybe one of you guys out there, my YouTube fans, what the fuck, I'm not famous. YouTube friends, that sounds better. My YouTube friends, maybe y'all can help me out. I'm gonna start researching in here, but I guess I'll have to buy the covers for that because I don't want any dirt and grime getting up into the clutch or into this assembly area if I don't need to. So if any of you guys can let me know about that. Lastly, I'll go over again the inside of this transmission. I might actually just pop up a picture here so you guys can see what it looks like inside. The inside of this transmission here has a billet 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5th reverse clutch forks in it. They're all been treated and all that cryo crap or whatever. The counter shaft on this has been REM treated by G-Force. They pretty much send it out and they super polish it or whatever, so everything's much smoother. Gets rid of any micro marring or anything like that, and just makes the transmission shift smoother, I guess. It also has a brand new first gear. He treated all the other gears and everything, so it still has some stock gears in it, but for all the power I'm making, and they've been doing this a long time, he said honestly, he did wide open throttle shifts where like you don't let off the gas whatsoever, and his transmission held up. He dumped a clutch with it at the drag strip, making 630 wheel horsepower on slicks, dead hooking, and it finally did break first gear, or was it third gear? He replaced it obviously in this, but I mean, he's like, I was hard on it. I mean, I honestly don't plan on doing anything of that nature. I'm gonna be hard on it per se, but it's gonna be like roll racing or going down the highway and downshifting, nothing like dead launching it on slicks or anything like that. This car is gonna be a street car, street tires. I don't see me taking to the drag strip yet as of right now. Maybe in the future, but nothing here in the near future that I can see. I'm just checking to make sure this plug's still good. Yep, it's all sealed up, good to go. Pretty fucking excited. So guys, that's gonna be it for this one. Wanted to go over the R154. Super happy I got to pick it up. I wanted to give a shout out again. Chris, thank you very much. I appreciate your hospitality also, guys. Ben Freed, Billy Freed, you guys are all fantastic. I can't say enough good things about Freed Engineering and the guys there. Very patient, very knowledgeable, willing to deal with my dumb questions, anything I had to ask or say. Ben was very quick and actually got me a quote back also for any extra parts I may need. So just good, honest people, which is so hard to find in the performance industry. If any of you who've known or dropped off your car at a performance place, you know, deadlines are really hard to get from them, so on and so forth. So it was very reassuring for once to deal with someone who actually knows what they're doing, can meet a deadline, and doesn't lie to you. It's nice to see for a change. So I was very happy with them. Thank you guys all very much. All right guys, thank you very much as usual. I still have shirts for sale, $25 a piece. Shoot me an email or shoot me a message on my Facebook page, which is Pure Function Engineering, or you can shoot me a DM on my Instagram, which is Pure Function underscore or underbar, whatever you want to call that. And yeah, hit me up. Thank you very much guys, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.